I'm Ethan Lacrosse. Today on Lincoln Now, $1 million piece of fruit, hair freezing competitions, and more. Find Lincoln Now on Instagram.
Live from Gahanna, WGLH-TV presents Lincoln Live with Jayla Daniels and Mackenzie Kemp.
It's flu season, but some students are learning from vomit. No joke.
Signing the dotted line. A Pride of Lions plans for the future.
Swimming is a physical sport, but it's something else that gives our swimmers an edge.
Lincoln Live starts now.
Good morning, Lincoln. I'm Jayla Daniels.
And I'm Mackenzie Kemp. Hey Jayla, did you see that there's a chance of snow on Thursday?
I did, and I'm so excited.
Me too. It's helping me get into the holiday spirit. Anyway, getting into the news.
Big dreams are becoming a reality for several of our athletes here. Yesterday was a big day for high school sports as student athletes across the country put pen to paper and officially committed to play at the collegiate level.
Congratulations to the 9 athletes that signed. We spoke to a few of them after this special moment.
I chose Ohio Dominican because I felt like it was a place where I could feel at home. I can play good baseball. It's in Columbus, so it's in a well-populated area. Could get a lot of internships within the Columbus area. I could get a lot of good athletics within the conference of the GMAC that they're in. And I felt like it was a place where I know a lot of people there, so I feel like it was a place where I could become at home and become a better baseball player and a better person.
University for soccer. I really love the campus and love the coach, and I'm just thankful for everybody who surrounded me. I love my new teammates, and I'm just excited for the journey ahead.
Thanks. Our varsity hockey team is off to a strong start after opening their season this weekend. They started with a 3-1 win over the Pickerington Prowlers, followed by a 3-1 win over Troy and a 4-2 loss against Worthington Kilbourne. Top scorers for the weekend were Dominic Cachilio with 3 and Sam Heckathorn with 2. The Lions will play again Friday against Bishop Watterson. We talked with Nolan Lehman to recap Friday's game.
Overall, I thought we played really well. Kind of sucks that we lost a teammate there, but just battling overall, I thought it was really good. I thought we could play definitely better that game and going into the weekend, but a win's a win.
Thanks, Nolan. Swimming is one of the most demanding sports, requiring incredible physical endurance. But what about the mental challenges these athletes face?
That's right. Our girls' swim team is defending their title of OCC champs this season.
Balancing training, competition, and the pressures of performing can be just as tough mentally as it is physically.
Our very own Lila Scott dives into the mental side of the sport and how these young athletes are staying strong in and out of the pool. Here she is.
For many athletes, swimming is a sport that tests physical strength, endurance, and technique. But there's another side to swimming that's often overlooked, the mental game.
Building up, mental toughness, it's definitely another side to the sport, and it's just as important as the physical side because if you're not strong mentally, you won't be able to perform successfully.
I feel like mainly the pressure from swimming comes from myself, just because wanting to perform my best every meet.
The hours spent in the pool are just the beginning. Behind every stroke is a mental battle, a struggle with self-doubt, anxiety, and the pressure to perform.
Mentally preparing for a big race is actually a really big thing for me. I have to, the night before, the morning of, I have to visualize my races, what I'm going to do, techniques, things I'm going to execute.
I'll write no fear on my hand, just a little subtle reminder for myself.
I always try to stick to the same schedule before every meet and understand that sleep is important, hydration is important, but also knowing if something doesn't go as how you want it to, it'll be okay. It won't completely ruin the race.
I mentally prepare for a big race all season long by trusting my 6 to 7 month training in and out of the water.
A resilient mentality is essential for pushing past physical limits and staying focused under pressure, often making the difference between simply competing and qualifying for states.
I set goals very early in the beginning of my season. I decide times I want to go, and then I discuss with my coaches and my teammates as to how I'm going to execute that, my training styles, my performances at smaller meets. It's really just a big process that I start at the beginning of the season.
It's the last meet of the high school season, so your body is really tired. You're on maybe your 2nd or 3rd taper. You step into the natatorium and it's this complete different vibe. You want to try to you've made it here, just give it all that you have.
Staying calm and just keeping everything that you have under control, and not letting outside pressures bother you. and what's going to happen in the upcoming, moments.
In the end, the water may be the same for every swimmer, but what separates the good from the great is what happens inside their heads. The strength to overcome doubt, the courage to face the unknown, and the determination to keep going no matter what. This is Lila Scott for Lincoln Live.
Thanks, Lila. Hey, Jayla, Grace is joining us again in the studio with a closer look into some of the science classes.
Hey Grace, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. The AP Environmental class is learning about food chains and ecosystems. Last Friday, they dissected owl pellets to figure out the biomass of owls. They had to tear apart the owl pellets to figure out what the owl had eaten and how the prey population had been impacted. They were able to calculate how much energy had been lost after the owl had eaten. We caught up with Dane Doyle to tell us more about what he learned during this activity.
Yeah, so in the owl pellets there was like little bones and stuff, and we had to organize the bones for which organism it ate. And so we like pick apart all the hairs and try to find the bones in it. And yeah, it was kind of nasty, but I actually learned that like owls eat other organisms and like trophic scales, and like it goes up in energy moves, and yeah.
Thanks, Dane. Underwater Robotics meets every Monday in Clark Room 320 at 3:40. In yesterday's meeting, some of the students were testing out propellers that they had 3D printed. They tested each one's strength and efficiency for 10 seconds to collect data to later compare. This information will later be used to decide which propellers will power the ROV in their competition in May. We talked to Sage Livers to give us more information.
Club today we're doing Ballard testing, which is basically we're taking different motors and of different shapes and sizes, and we're testing how much energy they need versus how much power they produce. And then once we're done testing, we'll see which one is best for the robot we're creating to move it around.
Thanks, Sage. Well, that's all the news that I have for you today. Sending it back to Jayla McKenzie at the news desk.
Thanks, Grace. If you've walked through the back of H building this year, you've probably heard a lot of music through the walls. That would be our Gahanna Orchestra hard at work. Our 4 orchestras at the high school have been preparing a variety of songs for the past 3 months, and they will get to display all their hard work this week. We spoke to orchestra director, Mr. Dangle, about this exciting week.
So this week we have 3 consecutive nights of orchestra concerts. On Tuesday we'll have our District 6th grade and our freshmen. On Wednesday our 7th grade and our symphony, and Thursday we'll finish off with our District 8th grade and chamber orchestra. So we'll have 400 and some students throughout the entire program perform this week on stage.
The time has rolled around for this year's juniors to apply for National Honor Society. If you're interested in joining NHS, there is an information meeting tonight. But if you can't make it to the information meeting, the information will be posted in the 2026 Google Classroom. Ms. Gleek has the details about the meeting tonight.
The second information meeting for National Honor Society is going to be tonight on the 2nd floor of Clark Hall at 7 p.m. We invite any junior and their parents, if they're able to come to the information meeting. What we're going to do is talk about the application process, the requirements to be in NHS, and what members do once they are accepted into the group.
Taking it back to elementary school, High Point Elementary hosted their annual Veterans Day ceremony last Friday.
They have been hosting this event for every year for over 20 years, and it has become a tradition.
It teaches the young kids the importance of what our veterans do and why the holiday is so widely celebrated across America.
The kids prepare speeches, presentations, and song performances for the veterans, and it is a fun way to celebrate everything our veterans have done for us.
Attention all Girl Scouts.
That's right. Our very own Taylor Braun and Aubrey Tomsick are producing a story about the new STEM Center of Excellence that just opened.
And it just so happens to be the largest in the U.S. They want to highlight the importance of Girl Scouts and women in STEM.
Yes, and this is a chance to showcase the positive impact Girl Scouts have on our community and inspire others.
So if you are a Girl Scout yourself or know one, please stop down in the studio or email 25braunt@gjps.org or 25tomsicka@gjps.org.
Or email Mr. Lowry, which is showcased on the graphic below.
Well, Lincoln, we have come to the end of our show.
We hope you have an amazing Tuesday, and as always,
go Lions!
Lions.